Shabbat Shalom. We're at the most joyous time of the year in the Jewish calendar, in an annual calendar that is in any case filled with mostly joyous moments. But Sukkot tops them all. The world bursts with color and energy, excitement, joy, and happiness. Jewish tradition describes Sukkot as Hechag, the festival par excellence. The Talmud states that whoever has not witnessed the joy of Sukkot in its fullest expression has never seen happiness before and doesn't know what joy is. In an almost manic rush to get out of the mood of Yom Kippur, we start building the sukkah immediately after breaking the fast. In fact, here we did it even before we finished Ne'ilah. Do you remember at the end we pounded the nail in the wood as symbolic of our rush to build the sukkah and get out of the mood of Yom Kippur, because life thrives all around us. And just in case we missed the imperative, the Bible emphasizes V'samachta b'chagecha, and you shall rejoice, be happy, you, your household, your household's help, as well as the orphan and the widow among you, everyone you can see, everyone you can imagine, even those in mourning. Everyone must rejoice. We are commanded to rejoice. You shall rejoice in this festival. Not, my advice is try and be happy during Sukkot. Why don't you try to think of something good? But, V'samachta b'chagecha, you shall be happy. So how can you command a feeling? How can you command an emotion? I order you to feel good. Don't worry, be happy. Jewish tradition is to read the book of Ecclesiastes during this Shabbat of Sukkot, and it's an amazing idea. Of everything that could be selected from the Bible to read on Sukkot that would capture the mood of pure joy, Ecclesiastes, Kohelet in Hebrew, would seem among the very last choices that we would make. Because Kohelet's theme is relentless sobriety. Kohelet introduces a number of important ideas, but perhaps the most central of all of them is Hevel Havalim, Hakol Havalim, Hakol. Everything is futile, utter futility. All is futile, everything. So this is what our tradition selected to be read on Sukkot, the most joyous of days. Everything is futile, utter futility. Kohelet mentions the word futility 38 times in 12 chapters of his book. 38 times. Now, how does this thought, utter futility, enhance our joy? How does Kohelet's opening statement, what real value is there to life? How does this question enhance our happy mood? Seems like an odd choice indeed for the festival of Sukkot. Sukkot says to us, be optimistic. Optimists say, this is the best of all worlds. And Kohelet responds with the classic words of the pessimist, I'm afraid you're right. But as Mark Twain said about the music of Wagner, it's not as bad as it sounds. In fact, to read the book of Ecclesiastes is a brilliant idea, and so reflective of Jewish wisdom. Happiness is not some drug-induced, irrelevant, fantastical state of ecstasy that has no connection to the reality of life that is filled with worry, anxiety, and mortality. Happiness is life itself, is being alive. And it is the realization of our mortality that gives urgent meaning and purpose to our lives. We find meaning in what we have, Ecclesiastes says, not in what we wish we had. We find meaning in our limited days under the sun, not in the limitless days that we wish we had under the sun. As Kohelet puts it in colorful imagery, a live dog is better than a dead lion. Or, as David Ben-Gurion said 3,000 years later, a dead Einstein is not a genius. Kohelet, after reminding us that we are all mortals and we are all going to die, after reminding us that there is no coming back when our days are done, then, towards the end of his book, he utters this profound statement: "Go eat your bread in gladness and drink your wine in joy, for this was long ago approved by God. Let your clothes be always washed and fresh, and let your head never lack ointment. Enjoy happiness with the woman you love, all the fleeting days of your life that you have been granted to you under the sun. Whatever is in your power to do, do it with all your might." So here's the threefold recipe for happiness according to Ecclesiastes. It is so down to earth, so basic, so reasonable, so sensible, so reflective of the human condition, so Jewish. First, go eat your bread in gladness and drink your wine in joy, and let your clothes be freshly washed and your head never lack ointment. Eat well, drink wine. We don't believe in asceticism in Judaism. We do not believe in denial of the body's needs or denial of earthly pleasures. Happiness is enjoying the bounty of the earth. Happiness is not going hungry. Happiness is a good bottle of wine. And Ecclesiastes urges us, don't forget to go to the hair salon. Let your head never lack ointment. Don't forget to spoil yourself. Feel clean. Feel good about yourself. Treat yourself to the spa. Be good to yourself. Buy nice clothes. Press them. Look good. Look cool. Second, enjoy happiness with the woman you love all the fleeting days of your life under the sun that have been granted to you. Now, Kohelet spoke as a man in a certain era, so the key word is not woman. The key word is love. Enjoy happiness with the one whom you love for all of your fleeting days under the sun. Love someone. Have a partner. Have a soulmate. Someone with whom you can share life in all of its joys and all of its challenging dimensions. Life is lived in and through other lives, not alone in splendid isolation or in solitary refinement. We do not believe in abstinence. Jews believe in love, physical relations, and emotional support. Happiness is pleasing your partner. It's not a license for carnal knowledge of every person under the sun, but an expression of love with a partner for all your days under the sun. Live under the sun. How good is the sun and how pleasing is the light? Strive towards the light. And walk hand in hand in love with your partner into the sunset. And third, whatever is in your power to do, do it with all your might. There is great joy in reaping the fruits of your labor. Whatever you do, do it as well as you can. It's not about what you do. We all choose different vocations, different things to do in life. It is about doing what you do well. Treat what you are doing with seriousness and with dignity. Try the best you can to be the best you can be. Exercise the full use of your powers along the lines of excellence. Martin Luther King put it this way: even if it falls to your lot to be a street sweeper. Go out and sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures. Sweep streets like Handel and Beethoven composed music. Sweep streets like Shakespeare wrote poetry. Sweep streets so well that the hosts of heaven and earth will pause and say, "Here lived a great street sweeper." Not enough to be wealthy. It's not enough to be successful. It's not enough to be beautiful. We must be satisfied with ourselves. Our aspirations and our ambitions are the source of our happiness. We cannot be happy if we do not have ambitions. An aspiration is a lifelong joy. It never exhausts itself. It never expires. Day after day, we receive pleasure from our ambitions. To have ambitions is to be a wealthy person. Our lives will always be rich in meaning and in purpose. As King said about his shoeshiner in Montgomery, Alabama, "This fellow has a PhD in shoeshining." So that's the secret, according to Ecclesiastes, of happiness. First, take care of your bodily and aesthetic needs. Second, attend to your emotional needs. Love someone. And third, live a purpose-driven life. And this, so basic, so earthy, so sensible, is the essence of age-old Jewish wisdom and the way towards sheer joy and utter happiness that we are commanded to feel on Sukkot. And just one word in conclusion. Simchat Torah is on Sunday night. Perhaps the very pinnacle of joy for Jews. Weather permitting, we will dance out in the street with the Torah, and if not outside, then here in the sanctuary. How do you command joy? We have mourners here in our congregation who feel sadness. We have others who have endured illness and setback and loss. How do we help share our joy with them? Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav, who lived a life of hardship, he died during the festival of Sukkot at the age of 38 after burying his wife and 4 of his children, said this about joy and sadness. At times, when people are joyful and dance, they will seize one who sits apart in sorrow. They drag him into the dancing round and compel him to be happy with them. This is also what happens in the heart of a person who is joyful. Sadness and sorrow withdraw to the sidelines, and it is reckoned as a special virtue to bring sadness along into joy so that all the power of sorrow may be changed to joy. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach. May we experience abundant joy and profound happiness during these festival days.